How's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel. Behind me is my 1977 Datsun 140Y wagon. So I went online to try and find a tutorial on how to do wheel bearing on this thing, and there was such a little information on the rear end of this car in general. Luckily I managed to find one guy in the States who had a 510. Now the 510 is from the same era as this, and the base models also had a live rear axle. So luckily I could pick up a few tips and tricks, but you'll notice when you buy this wheel bearing, they will give you two options: local diff or international diff. So he obviously had the international diff and didn't quite apply to what I was doing, but I managed to extract some information from it, enough to get me into trouble. So I thought, given the lack of information on the internet, why not just make a video ourselves? So I'm gonna warn you, this isn't a tutorial video. This is not the right way to do it by any means, but it is the way that worked for us, I guess. So let's get to it. So over here are some of the tools that you are going to need to do this. Obviously an assortment of spanners, sockets, we've got a chisel and something else that we'll show you a bit later if you don't have a press, as many people don't have. And then we'll have the hammer. And then unfortunately for this job, you are going to need a grinder, as you'll see later. So right now we're going to get the back of the car jacked up, because we'll be working on this wheel bearing right here. So I'm going to set you guys on a time lapse over there. Enjoy. Okay, so we took the wheel off, we took the drum off. Now we're at the stage where we need to take this whole drum brake assembly off to get the hub off. There is a way in which you can do this without taking the whole drum brake off, but we found it's just easier to do it. So we're going to need to remove the handbrake, we're going to need to remove these 4 bolts behind here. So you're going to have to turn this, use the little hole, check behind, put your socket through, and take off that nut. We're gonna have to remove the brake lines at the back, and yeah, we're just gonna start knocking things. So that right there is your wheel bearing, and this whole faff getting all of this off. It's because we need to take this shaft out to get this bearing off. Now I'm gonna let you guys in on a mistake that we did last time, not too proud of. What we did last time was this plate, when you put it back, goes back in a very specific way, which is in fact the other way. So this little beveled edge over here ran the risk of hitting the inside of this boot, but what we did was, where are those things? We made these little things, washers that we put in behind it to space it out, because it was 10 o'clock at night and I needed to get home. So yeah, don't try that at home, just do it right. Now unfortunately, why we have the grinder, actually let me show you in a second. So unfortunately, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but the only way to get this bearing off is to cut it off. So that's why we have the grinder. Trust me, know it sounds ridiculous, wish there was another way, only way to get it off.
Okay, so Gene is gonna show us his Bob the Builder skills right now.
Unfortunately, now comes the part that I hate. So I have to take this grinder, cut into that thing. Now, for those of you wondering why I took my gloves off, health and safety, when you're using rotary tools, don't use gloves because if you catch on your glove, unfortunately I know from first-hand experience, using a drill with a glove doesn't work out. But what we're all going to do is protect our eyes. Here we go. Let's do this. So what I'm doing is here, making a slit and then making another slit right next to it at an angle, little V, to put some relief on it. Not done quite yet, but basically that's what I'm doing. Yeah. This one I cut at an angle to get better penetration. Here we go. The Axel. Here we go. Plate the right way. That's all we needed to do. That's why I did all of this. So what we have to do next is we're gonna use this wheel bearing. Plate is now turned the right way. Wheel bearing goes on. So this little lip is gonna face inwards and it's gonna meet up over there, almost flush. Focus right over there, almost flush. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna put that on first. Then there's a spacer that goes, then there's this spacer. Then because we do not have a press, we're gonna use these things in a series on top of that, coupled with hammer and chisel. Sounds a bit sketchy, I had to do it before, it works. Cool. So many minutes later, Darren managed to get the wheel bearing back on to the axle. So we're getting the wheel studs back on, and then time to throw it back in. So touch wood, from here on in it looks like it's going to be smooth sailing. Darren is just busy tightening up the hub at the moment. Once he's done with that, all we need to do is attach the handbrake cable over here. It's going to reattach the brake line over here. Then once he's done with that, we're going to have to bleed the brakes, because obviously all that brake fluid ran out over there and over here. Cool. Time to bleed the brakes. So we're gonna make sure this one front part on here is the rear brakes. See how empty that is? It's just from loosening the brake line. Gravity bleeding all out of there. So now there's a bunch of air in the lines, gotta bleed it out. So when you re-bleed these brakes, you're gonna wanna first make sure that you bleed the master cylinder. So there's a bleed nipple over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pump in the car. Darren's gonna crack that nipple and I'm gonna bleed that, get that done first. Okay, so I'm on the pump duty while Darren is on the bleed duty. Pumping, 1, 2, 3. We're done bleeding at the master cylinder. Now we gotta bleed the back wheel. So that's that in back there. 11 spanner. Okay, it's time to set her down and take her for a test drive. There we go. Time to make sure the lug nuts are tightened and put on the hubcap, and we are done. So now finally we have got everything buttoned up on this thing, and it's time to take it for a test drive. Favorite part. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you managed to learn something, hope we managed to teach you something. Like I said, we're not professionals. This is just how we learn to do it. If we did it the wrong way, we're sorry, we're not professionals. But yeah, there's not that much content out there on a 1977 Datsun wagon. Just thought, because we struggled, put out something for you guys. Very much. If there's anything else you want to see about this wagon, please let me know in the comments below. Bye, like, comment, subscribe.